I'd like to develop the idea of the energy in relationships, and to define it and give you a picture, I like to think about the colors, the primary colors of red, yellow, and blue. And I visualize it in a triangle with the blue at the top and the red here and the yellow here. And I imagine the energy of those colors and what they might represent. And I see the blue as being very peaceful and calming, like the waters in the sky. And I see the yellow like the sunshine, with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. And the red I think of like passion and intensity, maybe desire. Sometimes it's romantic color. And then I'd like to just play a little game with this and think about the combinations of some of these colors and what that might represent. So I'm going to take the yellow and the blue, and it makes a green, which is a very healing color. It represents healing in a very powerful way. And so we look at healing, and that would be derived from a place of peacefulness and enthusiasm, energy. So you take that energy and desire, and you add it to peacefulness, and it brings healing. I think of Christ as the Prince of Peace. So I add His love to my energy or desire, and I become healed. And then I go to this side and I think about the red, passion and desire, the elements of passion and giving all, like Christ on the cross or in romance, and then add that to the peacefulness. And I get purple, which is what Christ became. He became royalty by giving His all. And then we look at the orange, that's the color that's derived from the yellow and the red mixed. And I imagine adding all this passion and all this energy, but with no peace, no center. And I think of orange as almost an angry color, a lot of heat, a fire. And now I'd like to tie that to relationships. We often think of the man and the woman and the Christ being the triangle, and Christ is the center, and we can't really make it without Him. And I'd like to do an experiment with this in relationship, and thinking we want to be loving in our relationships, and we want our relationships to be loving, but sometimes one or other of the partners is not loving, isn't behaving lovingly, and so we assume that if, say, it's the other person, that we can't be loving. It's as if a wall is created by their unloving behavior. That it's sort of like that orange, and it's hard to get across to that. How do you reach through that? And in that moment, and we all face that sometimes daily, I'd like to just show you another visual, and that is that the light that's always there, that pure white light, is always flowing like a shower over our heads, like a big sunflower shower, just feeding us constantly. And all we have to do to receive that is look up. And so if you want to have a loving relationship and you have that desire, and we go to that fullness and we receive that light, we have the opportunity at that time to be loving. And these walls that are created from other people's behaviors, from the other partner's behaviors, these walls that we can't cross, such as, they don't deserve my love because they're being a jerk. Why would I want to love them? Or, they're kind of scary to love, and they don't deserve it. Why should I love them? And I automatically refer to the verse that says, what is there to gain by loving someone who loves you? That's no test. I believe that these relationships came into our life to give us an opportunity to be the love. And as we embrace who we are because really that's all we have control over. We can't impose our will on another person. That's sort of the law of this life, that we only get to choose for ourselves. So in this moment, if we feel like, well, we want to be the love and we want to have a loving relationship, we can only choose for ourselves. So I get to choose to be the love, and I get to choose to fill myself with that love, and then create this beautiful radiance around myself, no matter what anybody else is doing. And it might feel like it's painful to be the love when our partner isn't being the love, but I like us to look at it differently. I want to do a little experiment on this. That possibly that this person, this partner, came into our life to give us the opportunity to be the love, to practice being the love, because, like I said, there's no glory in loving when the other person is completely easy and giving us so many buckets of love all the time. That's not a test. So why the test? Why do we have to have the test? Christ, remember, loves us unconditionally. We don't have to be perfect for Him to love us. So, that's not a truth, that someone has to be loving before we can give our love. And Christ also loves us regardless of our behavior. We're all beggars. Today I may be full, but tomorrow I may be empty and in trouble. So, who's to say that tomorrow we're not going to be that partner that's out of love and out of alignment with love? So what I'd like to do is invite anyone who'd like to join me in an experiment that I will call Be the Love, and make a decision to practice, take charge of your bucket from Christ, being the love, collecting that love, and then giving that love to everyone who's not in alignment with love, but who's desperate to feel that. Who doesn't feel better when love is around? So for a while this year, let's decide to be the love and bless lives, whether they deserve it or not, in our book of judgment. We're not God. We don't get to do that. And see how differently we feel and how we're able to affect other people by being loving.